sitting on there forever. Out in the cold yesterday, that is what I'm guessing. Oh man, I'm still hoping we can get this thing fully sprayed out today. This area over here is the worst. Check out how messed up this paint is. That is crazy. Thankfully, the whole firewall is good. Frame rails are good. The wheel tubs, I guess you call them, are good. The core support's pretty messed up, and then the strut towers are pretty messed up as well. Great fun, great fun. Thank God we didn't rush it, clear it, come back this morning expecting it to be perfect, and come out to that, because if there's clear over this, it'd be so much harder to fix. I'm just gonna grab a scuff pad real quick and see what happens. Painting in the cold does not go well. I think this is gonna be pretty easy to fix, honestly, guys. I'm gonna pull some cars out of the shop and get this thing fixed up. I was mistaken. The cracks were actually in the epoxy sealer that we were using. Reason why it cracked is because clearly yesterday when we were spraying, it wasn't not ideal temperatures whatsoever. I usually wait like 30 minutes between the epoxy and base. Yesterday I waited an hour and I thought that was plenty of time just because it's so cold. Clearly it wasn't enough time, because when we sprayed on the base and that epoxy was still wet, it soaked into the epoxy and cracked it all out. So what I'm trying is just one little area up here where it's completely hidden anyway. I sanded all of those cracks out. I don't want to spray any more sealer if I don't have to. So I'm gonna try to just apply base over this. I'm gonna get this one area perfect and see the steps I need to take to make this one area perfect. So as of right now, sanded with a red Scotch-Brite pad using wax and grease remover as my lubricant. Let's go ahead and spray a little bit of base coat on this guy right here and see what happens. And of course, we're not gonna be doing this outside. It is way too cold. I knew from the start we should have been doing this in the shop. I'll set up the booth in the shop. I'll keep the shop like 75, 80 degrees and we should not have any issues. It's crazy how picky paint is. Everything has to be perfect. It's hard.
Everything else is fine. Like, we're fine with promo, we're fine with taking photos. My thought was I was just focused.
So it looks like with just a little bit of scuffing with the red scuff pad like we've been doing, it should be fine. This here is 3 coats of the base and it's not cracking out at all. Everything looks perfect. Now that we have a good idea of what we need to do, I'm gonna run through, get all of these cracks sanded out, and then we should be able to get the booth set up and get this thing freaking finished. I'm happy it happened in engine bay where it's like not a super big deal if there's a tiny little crack, because so much of this is covered. Obviously, like up here I don't really care about, in here is all covered, which I still want to fix properly. But if it's happened like on a door or a fender or an exterior body part, that would be a big nightmare. All right, so any obvious area, I went ahead and sanded down. There's still some areas that are gonna be hidden that have cracked paint. I could sit here for probably a week trying to make this thing 100% perfect in all the areas that you can't see. So in my opinion, that's pointless. I'm not gonna do that. We got all the cars out of the shop. We have the booth in the shop. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can air this thing up inside the shop, and hopefully it fits. It's really, really large, and I know it's gonna be a super tight fit. So I guess let's see what happens. It's gonna be a little bit loud, but I guess it fits. It's a fairly tight fit, but I have it positioned to where we can just wheel the car right in there off the lift, spray this son of a gun out, and we don't even need to take it out of the booth because it's gonna be warm in there. I'm gonna leave this front door off, get some heat in there. Now, of course, when we're spraying, I'll close up the door. But yeah, here she is, my friends. She fits in the shop. These blowers are super freaking loud, so I apologize, but we just got all of the base coat sprayed out, kind of touched up the areas that we sanded. Let's hop in the booth real quick and let me show you guys how it looks. Everything turned out good. I'm gonna let it flash off for like 45 minutes and then we can go hit clear, but let's jump in here and check it out. Also, it's pretty dark in here because all the lights are above the booth. there's not much light in this thing. They do have hangers on the sides, so we could probably grab some lights and hang them up on the side in the future. Here's how all the base turned out. There's still some areas that you're gonna see like deep looking scratches underneath, but it'll be okay. Those are all hidden areas. Everything that's gonna be visible when the car is complete is gonna look really nice. So I'm glad it turned out, and it's super nice having the booth set up in the shop because we currently have it 75 degrees in here, and this stuff flashes off and dries in like 2 minutes. We are all finished up painting this dang engine bay. It was a hassle, took a while, especially having to redo it, but it turned out really, really nice. I'm gonna let it sit for a few hours in the shop, and then we can pull it out of the booth and see how good this thing looks. In the meantime, Jared just came over. We're gonna go shoot. We have an upcoming Boston launch this next weekend on Saturday. It's the first launch we've had in like 3 months, so I'm super excited for it. And we have some really, really sick items this time around. I'll show you guys here in a second. We gotta pick a car, figure out what car we're gonna go shoot with, and then go take some banging photos. It's only right that we go shoot the Supra. What a beautiful car. Wow. We got fenders in the back. Sick. Hope we don't go too far.
Still your storage unit?
Oh yeah, always. This should be all right.
Dude, okay, this feels really weird. Walking up here. Yeah, I haven't even been in this thing.
You like? Mm-hmm. So odd, huh?
This is... The seats don't go back, do they?
Dude, why are you so tall?
Look at me in this car. I'm not even that tall. I'm almost 6'1", and I barely fit in this, so yeah.
All right, we got 3 shirts with us right now that we're shooting with the Supra. These things are all fire. Big shout out to Mr. Designer. You guys have already seen this one. It's probably my favorite. Slow cars and freedom, baby. We have 2 different colors of this, right? So we have the black and tan, both fire. This one's vibey. If you like vibes, if you like hot boy vibes, oh my lord, oh my lord. Okay, that's the front, and that's the back. Can't get much better. Item number 3 that we have chilling right now. I think I showed this one on the channel before. Little Boston logo on the front. And it's a rose with a turbo on it. I don't know why there's a turbo on the rose, but there is, and it looks sick. So if you don't buy this, your mom's a hoe. All right, next spot, where should we go? Let's go rip the Sup. I haven't driven the Supra much, but it's nice to get a few miles on it before it snows, because in the snow, this thing ain't gonna be driven at all. It's gonna sit in the shop. But this car's amazing. Just went inside the booth and got the car unmasked. This thing turned out so freaking good, guys. I'm very, very excited. After all that work and mess ups, she turned out good. Car is back on the lift. This bay turned out so good. I didn't think it was gonna turn out perfect, and it's not perfect. I would say the bay as a whole is probably like a 9.5 out of 10. The areas you can see when the car is fully assembled will be a 10 out of 10. There's still areas like, for example, right there. You see that little crack underneath the paint? It's like a divot in the paint. There's some spots like that will be, of course, hidden when the car is complete. But like, we made sure all of this is gonna be perfect. These tubs right here are perfect. Shock towers are perfect. Firewall's perfect. Those are the main things I was concerned with. And you guys probably noticed that I didn't intentionally spray these areas right here. There's a reason for that, and I'll show you guys here in an upcoming video. I didn't want them white for obvious reasons. It looked kind of funny behind the wheel. Let's get the car up in the air and see how we did underneath. Not bad. Not bad at all for being on some jack stands and having to crawl around on your hands and knees. It's of course not perfect, but hey, it's white and it's gonna stick. That looks good. I only sprayed up to about here. Everything else is hidden. And surprisingly enough, having the booth in the shop, the rest of the shop, it got a little tiny bit cloudy, but like not even enough to have to wear a mask or anything. Of course, when the paint comes out of the filters, like it's still gonna have some substance to it, but it's not enough to get overspray on anything, which is the main goal of the booth. That thing is like the best purchase I've ever made. We can paint all winter long in the shop without spending hours and hours and hours masking everything off. It would be sick to grab some lights and hang them up when we're spraying inside the booth. That'd make things go a little bit easier. Overall, I could not be more stoked. It's been a long 2 days. I'm gonna wrap the video up here. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a comment down below. Obviously, it's not a crazy, insane color, but I think all finished up, this thing is gonna look mint. Comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I hope you guys enjoyed. Peace out. I will see you guys tomorrow.